All right, Aries, there's a couple of different ways that I feel about this. So first of all, transgression, flaws, contradictions, and mistakes. And then you have the word Lord, communication, praise, and dishonesty. This did show up as a challenge for you. So when you're looking at transgression, you're talking about a mistake that was made and you needing to make amends, take stock, assess, and redirect, and come back into harmony with the voice of your soul. Now, when you're looking at it with the word Lord, if I could talk right, this could be saying that the mistake that you're making here is the way that you are, talking about yourself. It's a contradiction. So you may be talking down to yourself. Now, on the other hand, you may have made the mistake of engaging somebody who has been dishonest, and you may say something that you regret, which is possible. That, or it's about people being dishonest with you. And the only mistake there would be that you got involved with this person or this situation. But either way, what I would say to you, the advice is that, wherever the mistake is being made, don't get involved and be careful what you say. Be careful of the words that you choose to use when it comes to dealing with people, especially if they're being dishonest with you. All right, Aries. Here is your overall. The Hangman. Now, if we're talking about you, this is going to be you not willing to act or to say anything. And it may be because you need to see more or understand more of a situation here. But we're talking about you putting yourself in this state in order to gain enlightenment before you do anything. Now, on the other hand, we can be talking about a situation where somebody else is stalling, holding up the show here. Nothing is really moving forward. Now, in the past, judgment, damn man. So in the past, you've had to review the past, reviewing a situation, and it may be coming back up again. And I swear to God, and it must be because of the whole Venus going retrograde that everybody is kind of having to deal with this right now. But it's like the past is revisiting everybody. You guys are no exception to this. But this is like, I've already looked at all of this. It shouldn't be being brought back up. That's kind of how I feel about judgment. Now, on the other hand, you may have to go back and look at a situation because you weren't assessing it accurately. And that may be where the Hangman is. Like, maybe I need to kind of go back and look at everything first before I choose to act. In the present, the Five of Pentacles. So no matter how you try to look at the situation with the Five of Pentacles in the present, you're still feeling like you're left out. You feel like you are out of a situation, that you're empty-handed here. Now, this could simply be that, you are rejecting something, though, too, here. But it could be that you don't want to get involved with a past situation here, especially if it has to do with money. Like, even if you're hurting financially, I look at that as something that you don't really want to go back to. But we'll see here. Oh, Aries, the hell is going on? The Devil in future conditions. And this to me is a good thing, though, looking at the Hangman. Okay, so now, if you're dealing with a person, you may have judged them inaccurately. They're the ones that may be causing the transgression against you. Looking at the Five of Pentacles, you're talking about feeling like you don't know what's going on, feeling rejected. You have nothing to show for being involved with this, but there is the unhealthy attachment with the Devil. Now, whatever negative thing is going on there, with the Hangman being the overall, nothing is really happening. So that's a good thing here. And I think that you see it. Like, you see it and you understand it, and you're trying to find that kind of enlightenment and clarity about how to move forward. It's like, I can't go back to this situation because, this is already what I expect to see from it. That's kind of how I look at it. But it's like, it's not a good thing. And I think some of you are you're done dealing with a person here who may have, their own personal demons or whatever here. But with the Hangman, though, you're not really moving one way or the other, though, with this. But either way, I still see it as a good thing. Oh, boy. All right. Your best path to follow the Lover, stay away from the temptation. I mean, that's basically it. If you're talking about a major life choice here, again, it's about following temptation or taking the moral high ground. But for some of you, this could definitely have to do with a relationship, right? Do you have, the temptation to go back to a situation that is going to leave you empty-handed, But you're definitely not doing anything, though, and I still see it as a good thing with the Hangman. Yeah. I'm looking at this, and even if we are talking about another person here who is holding things up, they're not going to do anything to, get this situation going. It's like they can't make the choice to step away from, the negative things here. But you are being asked to look at it and make a choice, especially if it has to do with a relationship. Okay. In your environment, the Queen of Cups. Now, for some of you, yeah, this could be about a person that you're dealing with, male, female, water, doesn't matter to me. I mean, hell, you've got, Gemini and Capricorn going on here too. But it being connected to the Five of Pentacles, this is what you're internalizing, and this is about, being taken advantage of. But there's still being an emotional attachment to what is not a good situation here. So I still think that judgment is harsh, but I think it's a good thing here. Because if you're talking about a situation that's coming back through, you're definitely going to have to take a look at it here before you make any kind of a choice to get involved. Wow, Aries. Your hopes and your fears, the Four of Swords. I don't think that you're fearing not having communication. I think that if we're talking about, with the word Lord here and something being said, I look at that as you wanting to remain like silent. There, is nothing else that you really have to say. The fear there would be that, you can't hold your tongue. Like I said, I would be careful about, the words that you use. But, the Four of Swords, though, as a hope is definitely you recovering from this, needing to take this time out. But also needing to get back to a place where you can think clearly about this and see everything for, what it really is, almost, with judgment being there. But I think that, with the Hangman, this is a situation that you've been trying to recover from for a while. And it's like, do I finally get to do it this time? And then coming out the Chariot. But with the Hangman, though, I still think of it as a good thing. Because I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, so with the Chariot coming out here, we're talking about momentum. Getting things going in the right direction. Getting control and using self-control. And picking up the pace here. But we're also talking about, things that are at a distance here. Traveling. You can't go back to a bad situation here, because where are you going then? You're going nowhere fast. But it really depends on the choice that you make. But I'm still looking at this and thinking that, whoever it is that you're dealing with, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to do with, a romantic relationship. With the Lovers being your advice, though, this is at least a relationship of some significance here. But it's not about seeing eye to eye. It's about the choice that you make about getting involved with this person. Because in the present moment, you look like devastated almost, Like, why? Why should I have to deal with this again if I'm going to have something taken from me? I've had enough taken from me, but yet it's still very much a persistent thing. But like I said, with the Hangman and the Chariot, you're not really going anywhere here. But it is about you needing to make the right choice here to have a little bit of self-control and not get involved with this anymore, I think. And then the Page of Pentacles. But that, I think, is you taking the information you now know and starting something different. So, the Emperor. And I love your card. I do. But this is you really, really, especially with the Chariot, needing to pull on some self-control. Don't go back to bad habits or bad situations with people. Don't make the choice to follow temptation. Otherwise you're not going to have, the momentum that you want in your life, right? But it is about, you needing to find some control here. But are you really going back and looking at the situation truly with judgment? It's like having the past dredged back up when it's like you want it to be left alone. Now with the Six of Pentacles, and again with the Five of Pentacles here, there's been a lot taken from you. You've given, haven't gotten shit back here. With the Queen of Cups, you may feel like you were taken advantage of. But again, there's still that attachment there, especially with the Devil showing up. But I think with the Page of Pentacles, we're looking at, you taking what you have learned from this and starting something better for yourself. And it may mean literally moving, right? But you need to see that first. That's the enlightenment that you're going to gain here with the Hangman. I still see that as a good thing. It's a good thing that the situation isn't moving forward. I think that things will start to pick up for you, but you need to be very careful about the choice that you make. And then new growth. So having new energy that's going to bring you tranquility and new growth in your life. And get away from these things that are no good. No good. Right? And this could just simply be, choices that you've made before, right? And maybe now you're learning that following that kind of temptation is not going to lead you down the path that you want to go. But there's still, the new growth that's coming out of this, which is good. But you need some peace. You need some time to kind of like recover from what, has been taken from you, what you have given and didn't get in return. And miracles, expect the wondrous to emerge. So once you take shelter and you kind of do the hermit thing here and you shut all this out, then you will start to see, better things emerge for you, especially with the Page of Pentacles there. And I almost wonder if some of you aren't in a situation where somebody is trying to hold you back from moving on or moving forward. And they may be expecting you to give what you can anymore because they've taken so much from you that there isn't much else that you can possibly give to this. But regardless, I still see that Page of Pentacles as a really good thing coming out because, if you're talking about the student here with the Page of Pentacles, it's definitely the information that has been learned based on the past experience, but you're using it in a way to rebuild, or to start something better for yourself. But whatever this is, you need to shut it out. Whatever the negative attachment is, whatever, choices you have made that have led you to this spot, especially if it has to do with relationships, that's where you need to kind of like go within. And with the Hangman, yeah. You will receive that enlightenment and there will be better things that come out of this.